Welcome back to the Vitera Vlogs. This is part 7 of a series covering my team's progression in the new server Vitera. This video covers from level 365 to 430, which took us about 24 days of playing around 2 hours a day. On the previous episode, we were switching between hunting the Cobra Bastion and the basement, and just after a double experience, I also said that we had done the quest of Engle to unlock the boss and the spawns, and that's where we started to hunt next, the Engle surface. This spawn technically didn't need any questing, but we still did it for the boss, and now with full access, it also comes with different hunting grounds. The surface was our first attempt at it, and since this was actual new content for all of us, we were not sure how it was gonna go. One thing for certain, we were too low level for this hunt. We were barely pulling it off through personal skills more than anything else, and just on the first day, I got a low HP screenshot, and we were doing around the 3.5kk raw XP, clearly much less than Cobra's, but profit was twice higher, so we saw potential on the hunt, despite how difficult it seemed to be. So for the next day, we decided to try -1 instead. It has pretty much the same type of monsters, with good density, but it comes with more spots to 3-wall, and it felt like that was gonna be better for our druid who wasn't doing well on the surface, so we decided to stay on -1 to get charms, and then we will go back to the surface. However, it's not like -1 was that much easier, especially since we were still making it harder ourselves by doing big lures that we barely could handle, but otherwise the experience would have been even lower, which on -1 we were doing around the 3.3kk raw. During our testing, we also tried doing a lap in -3, which has a different distribution of monsters with more of the harder ones that give a bit more experience, and on this floor, hunting slower with 8x8s, we were doing a similar experience of 3.3kk, which is just funny looking back on it, that we were struggling every pull on -1, fighting for our lives, and here we were doing the same XP, albeit with less profit, but also it wasn't that much better. The Carnivore Stretch have a common chain attack, so it was as painful on the mage to hunt here. For that reason, we continued with the plan of hunting -1 until charms and then moving on to the surface. But as I said, -1 wasn't that much safer, and on that first day, I technically died because I procced the Gift of Life, and then the next day, I died for real shortly after getting level 370. Then the next day, our MS couldn't hunt, so we got a different one, and since it would have been a bad idea to go back to Engle with a random, we hunted Cobra Basement instead, and later that day, I did some dual hunting on Winter Cold with RD. After the weekend, we got back together and started hunting Engle -1 to continue with getting the charms. The days after that, we will alternate between Engle and Cobra Basement, since some days we were missing either the MS or Paladin. In those cases, we will 3-man or grab a random but hunt Basement with them, and if not, I will also solo hunt in Vanura often. I wasn't doing much experience there, but it's one of my favorite spawns. It's great profit no matter what server, and if you need points for the killing in the name of quest, it's one of the best places for tasking. Then the Paladin couldn't hunt much, and this continued for a couple days, so I was hunting all over the place, be it solo, with my team and a random, or with other teams. It wasn't until I hit level 400 that he somewhat became more reliable and we started again, where we were finally able to go to the Engle surface, as we intended from the start. The hunt wasn't particularly easier, but having charms and a bit more levels helped a lot. This time the experience went up to the 4.3kks, on par with what we will make at Cobra Basement, much less than Bastion, but also much higher profit, and overall a more entertaining hunt. We continue to hunt here, and the experience will go up slightly as we got better on it, and since we've been hunting on Engle, we also had been doing the boss monster from the Cradle of Monsters quest, and I got myself a new helmet, Antler Horn helmet, pretty good item with ice protection and 2 imbuement slots. Then yet again, another double experience started, so we continued to grind. But also, that same day, one of the Soulwar bosses got boosted, Goshnar's Greed. This is the boss from Dark Test, and the boss is somewhat easy to do. So I convinced 3 friends to do it, because from my team, only the Paladin was down to do it. Unfortunately, I died right away on the first attack phase. It was so anticlimactic that I didn't even save the recording. Anyhow, after that, I was double hunting during the weekend, with some friends on Flimsies and with my team on Engle. The hunts in Flimsy were quite good for experience, reaching almost 5kk raw with moderate difficulty. It's a spawn I'm familiar with, and it's a very underrated one for team hunts, since in all servers, Flimsies is more used for solo high-level sorcerers or paladins. Anyways, I got 5 levels and 1 death on the first day of double. Then on the second day, I started off the bat with a death, proving once again that we were probably under level for this spawn, but whatever, got my blessings and came back to grind more levels, finishing that day with 3 levels gained. And then for Sunday, I solo hunted early afternoon and then hunted more with my team in Engle, finishing up with another team hunt in Flimsies, getting my stamina down to the 32 hours by the end of the double, gaining 14 levels with 2 deaths in between. and since we were going to skip hunting on Monday, I was just recovering XP, but did a few bosses as well, and unfortunately I ended up dying on Tibia, since I was duo with my ED and he disconnected. I realized late and couldn't find my way out of it. And after that, the paladin once again couldn't make the hunts consistently, so we had to 3-man for bad experience at Engle, then looking for alternative spawns where we could 3-man and do better. So we ended up at the Isabi Catacombs with Sphinx and Crypt Wardens. This is a common spot for solo EKs and also duo EK Druid, but we were trying it out as a 3-man at first, doing around the 3.8kk raw. Not too good, but without charms, and for the first hunt it was okay. On the second day we got it up to 4kk, so it was at least a decent alternative spawn. Then DMS started to skip hunts as well, and I was left to duo, doing mostly Isabi Catacombs or Winter Court. During this time, it was probably the most unmotivated we gotten, going from starting as a full team, then our druid leaving us, and after that spending roughly a month with no druid and just random players, then settling down with a druid that couldn't communicate with us to go back once again to mostly 3-man, but unlike back then when we were low levels, now not having a full team was much worse, taking probably around a third less of experience. But that's also part of the Tibian experience, I suppose. A lot of people go through burnouts and teams disband quite often. Regardless, we kept on playing, since from the start of the server we've been pretty casual about it. Sure, to some people even hunting 2 hours a day, 5 days a week doesn't sound casual, but for most hardcore players, or at least people grinding levels, that's pretty low. Nowadays, teams even push 3 hours of stamina every day, and in my opinion just end up burning out faster. So what is yours or your team's approach to Tibia? Let me know in the comments, and if you like the series, please consider subscribing. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to the supporters of the channel, Tuna Hero, Nice Star, and Turtle Slasher.